outer space.
All right, so you remember this, right?
Yes, I do, Kyle. From the very, very beginning, I do. In the beginning, I met Raleigh, and at that time, Raleigh's family was going up to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I was lucky enough to go once when I was engaged to Raleigh, and once when I had Brian. And Grandpa was already in the making of looking for someplace closer because it was too far to go. So he got in his head that he'd start looking, and he did start looking. And when he did, he took each one of us kids at one time or another to go look at some cottages. And Raleigh and I came up with Grandpa to look at this one. And oh my God, it was just huge. But Grandpa knew it was going to work for his family because he knew his family was going to grow big time. And it did, as we already know. Up to 70. Almost, is it 70?
I think so. I think it's close to that.
I think it's 70. And I know Grandma and Grandpa are looking down upon all of us and realizing that that was their goal in life, to do exactly what they set out to do. And now we're going to continue doing it. And I'm one of the luckiest ones because I was the one that probably spent most of the time up here. Because Raleigh was the youngest. We had the youngest kids, and everybody had to stay home and work, but I got to stay up with Grandma. But it is a little slice of heaven, and we're very lucky to have it. And we all have grown in different ways, and keeping the family together. Mom and Dad would be so thrilled and so proud of all of us. And I am so proud to be part of the family too. I am. And Raleigh, when you say you found the right one, you'll find the right one. It'll be going on 49 years, actually this week, for Raleigh and I. And
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Couldn't be happier either. So we're getting ready for 4th of July. It's going to be the 4th of July family reunion, and we hope we can get as many to come up as possible and to enjoy it. And there isn't enough that I can say about the cottage that I haven't enjoyed.
You make my job easy. I don't even have to ask any questions.
Well, the only thing I can say, Kyle, I'm just telling you it all. That's the way it is. Life is good. I've spent my time up here with my family and my friends, and we've all worked together well, and Grandma and Grandpa would be very proud of each and every one of us, because it takes all of us to keep it together.
Cool.
And I love you guys. I love all of you.
Love you too.
Yeah. Come over here and give me a kiss and a hug.
All right.
Love you.
Love you too.
You're the best.
Thanks for doing this again.
Well, whatever you can.
Can I ask you a question? I didn't even ask you a question yet.
I don't know. I didn't know if you were going to ask questions or not.
No,
I'll just give you my little whatever.
I'll let you go. You know, that was great. That was awesome.
Well, that was about as much as I really wanted to say. But if you ask me anything, I'll be honest.
Cool. But yeah, you know. So yeah, I've just been putting all these stories together, and people are talking about it and stuff. And I know I've asked you this stuff before, and even if you touched on it, I'm just trying to get you to talk about it as much as possible. But do you have any specific memories of pulling up to the cottage for the first time? You say you came to look at it, but
I was, yes, for the very first time. It was actually it was winter time, and it was in 1968. And the reason I know that is because I had to Wayne in February 7th of 68. And that's the very beginning that I remember of the cottage. And that was most memorable.
Can you talk about what it looked like when you were pulling up back in the day?
Not anything like it looks like now. And guess what? I told Kyle that I will find pictures because I did take some pictures. They're not the best, but they are pictures. And I promise you, I will bring them up, and you can.
Well, can you describe what the pictures look like? You're talking about the fence
Old
and
and rickety, and the kitchen was like, I didn't even want to walk into it, and there was no road. You just had to walk in between the trees, and there were so many trees over there, you couldn't even see. They took out 80 trees in order to clear that. And the cottage was massive. We've never seen anything like it. But Grandpa knew exactly what it was going to look like in time to come. So that's what we did, and we all worked very hard. I think the best times I think we ever had was everybody had small kids. They all worked hard during the week, piled all the kids in the car, came up, worked really hard, enjoyed, and went home. And when we went home and Grandma and Grandpa was here, it was like, thank God, because it was quiet. But they loved having all of us, I do have to say that.
So do you think, you were around. Do you think this was Grandma and Grandpa Conley's like plan? You know, to like.
It was it was their dream. I didn't go with them to Mobashing, Wisconsin as much as the other kids because Raleigh was like the youngest of the family. And so they had been sharing that all the time. So I heard all kinds of stories about that. But it was just, again, too far. I'm repeating myself. But
That's okay.
Grandpa had a dream. He had a dream. And this is what it was. Someplace close, but not too far away so that we can all get together. That was their dream.
And I think you know, it's a really admirable dream, and I think it worked. You know, I mean, the fact that I even have a relationship with you, and
Oh, I love you guys.
No, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's pretty incredible. You know, because I went to a wedding last summer with a friend of mine. You know, and I was like, introduce me to, we're pretty close. You know, and I was like, introduce me to your family. You know, I want to meet everybody. And I'm like, so who's that guy? She's like, oh, that's my grandpa's brother, but I don't really know him. And I'm like, how do you not really know him? Like that's like Uncle Raul or Uncle Jack, you know, like to me in a way, you know, or Aunt Judy, you know, and I just think that this place was a very, it's kind of the reason why, I mean, yeah, graduation parties and stuff, but I feel like this is like, you hang out and relax and really get to know each other, you know.
It's the part of working hard and sticking together. And as long as everybody got here safe and sound, enjoyed themselves and got home safe and sound, that was Grandma and Grandpa's second dream. Just as long as everybody got here and got home safe and sound.
But you know what I'm saying is like, do you think that this place...
You don't find this very often. Our family you do not find very often because I don't find it either. So you're right.
And do you think that the college had a role in all that?
Without a doubt, because Grandma and Grandpa wanted to keep their family together and they wanted to pass that on. And so within their children and the grandchildren, that's what is happening. I mean, there's many generations here right now, really. And with the 4th of July, hopefully we can get the family pictures. We had that, I can't remember what year it was, where we all had certain t-shirts for every family. You remember that? Do you remember what year that was?
87.
87. That was wonderful. We had such a good time. We celebrated Grandma's birthday, and the kids, all the little kids then, they made little birthday cakes, and we had so much fun. We had tents, and we had games, and we had relay games, and everybody just had a good time.
Can you tell me a little bit about that? Like, with the cakes for all that, and the tent and the camper full of balloons and any of that?
Oh, I told you about the camper and the balloons. That was
I just watched the tape actually.
Oh,
so
did you? Wasn't that wonderful?
Oh yeah, I wasn't alive then actually, but no, I watched the tape, so I got that. But could you tell me about that? What that was like?
Yes, it was a family reunion. I don't know who was in charge of getting all the T-shirts, but each family had their own color, and then we all took pictures. And then it was Mom's birthday. And then we had different kinds of games. We had relay games for the kids and then pinata for the younger ones. And then for the teenagers, we had relay games back and forth from Mel's pier to our pier, where they had to swim, go over there, eat some crackers, drink a beer, and come back. Mm-hmm. And I'm surprised somebody didn't die doing that. But they did, and they had teams, and it was absolutely wonderful. We were all yelling and cheering and whatever. But it was great. And let's see. I don't know. Everybody just kind of like slept where we needed to sleep. You know, everybody took care of the kids and made sure nothing happened to anybody. And we just drank and partied, and Mom and Dad were great. At playing cards, Kaluki. Grandma and I and the girls used to play Kaluki. That was the best. You guys, do you play Herbie? That's another famous game. Herbie. Kaluki and Herbie were the best up here.
Can you talk about the poker games a little bit?
I wasn't in the poker games too much. You could probably ask the other kids. Herbie, I only knew the basics, but I liked it. But when they went into all the different things, I wasn't doing too good. But when I did play Herbie and Grandpa sat next to me, it was me and somebody else that did too much talking. And Grandpa got a little upset with us, and he went and got some duct tape. And we didn't know that. And then all of a sudden, it was like, if you guys are going to play, he just put big pieces of duct tape across our mouth, and it was like we knew that we could not be doing any more talking.
Good stuff.
It was good stuff, but I was like, well, okay. And then I was drinking too and having a good time, but I was enjoying Herbie.
So, okay, we talked about, you know, that it's kind of been like the glue of the family in a way, and it's always been a constant. And how do you see the cottage, you know, shaping out even in the future from where it's been into now as a constant and as the glue of the family and all that?
Well, I always want the cottage always to be, to keep the cottage always. We were in doubt for a little while what we were going to do, but the kids have really
Let me guess, you're stuck.
wanted to keep it, and we didn't know for sure how that
Super
actually
stuck. Hold
would
on.
work out because there's so many different generations. But